I wholeheartedly welcome our President Sir, Dr. Chinivala Sir, IMA KSB, Dr. Surya Secretary, and beloved Dr. Anuradha Ma'am, and all the students who are present here, especially Prasanna, Aditi, and Srinidhi, and all the students. I think without much wasting our time, and warm welcome to the guest speaker, Dr. Aftab Ahmad Maldar. So I think
Thank you.
without wasting time, we will go ahead with our IMA prayer. IMA prayer by Prasanna Kumar. Prasanna,
Yes, ma'am.
please go ahead.
Thank you, ma'am. May everybody be happy. May everybody be healthy. May everybody be free from pain. May everybody free from sorrow. May we be the healing cure beyond every greed and lure. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Prasanna, for the IMA prayer. Now I request Aditi for the flag salutation. Aditi?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. We, the members of Indian Medical Association, stand here to salute our national flag. Its honor and glory shall be our light and strength, and its course shall be our course. We pledge our alliance to it and realizing our responsibilities as the accredited members of this national organization. We swear we will dedicate everything in our power to see it fly high in our Committee of Nations. Jai Hind, long live IMA. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Aditi, for the flag salutation. Now I request our Honorable President IMA KSP, Dr. Chinivala, to address the gathering.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಭಾರತೀಯ ವೈದ್ಯಕೀಯ ಸಂಘ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಶಾಖೆಯ ಉಪಸಮಿತಿಯಾದ ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಇಂದು ಹಮ್ಮಿಕೊಂಡಿರುವ ಈ ವೆಬಿನಾರ್ ರಿಗಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್, ಎಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟನ್ಸ್ ಅಬ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಮಾಂಗ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಒಂದು ಟಾಪಿಕನ್ನು ಆರಿಸಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಪೀಕರ್ ಆಗಿ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಆಫ್ತಾಬ್ ಅಹಮದ್ ಮಲ್ದಾರ್ ಅವರು, ಅಸಿಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೈಕ್ಯಾಟ್ರಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಸಿಮ್ಸ್ ಶಿವಮೊಗ್ಗ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅವರಿಗೂ ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಕೋರುತ್ತಾ ಅವರು ಏನಂತಲ್ಲ ಇಂದಿನ ಒಂದು ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸವನ್ನು ನೆರವೇರಿಸಿಕೊಡ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾನು ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ.
Vandanagalu, Dr. Chinivalar sir, for your kind words. I request Secretary Dr. Suri Raju to address the gathering.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of IMA KSP, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all. Today's meaningful session organized by IMA KSP MSN subcommittee. The topic of this evening, stress, access, and substance abuse among doctors, is both very timely and highly relevant in today's medical profession. Doctors dedicate their life in healing others, but in this process, they often neglect their own physical and mental well-being. It is important that we openly discuss these challenges, understand the risks, and find healthy ways to support each other. I welcome Dr. Aftab Ahmad Maldar, Assistant Professor, Department of Psychiatry, Shivamoga. I think we are looking forward to hear from you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And I extend my congratulations to the chairman, Dr. Padma Prakash, and coordinator, Dr. Vinay Srinivas, madam, for their constant encouragement and leadership. Special mention also goes to Prasanna, then Gaurav. They're all doing great job. I would like to, I want to welcome each and everyone. And I sincerely hope that today's discussion will inspire us to create a culture of wellness, balance, and mutual support. And thank you all.
Thank you, Secretary IMA KSP, Dr. Suri Raju, for your kind and excellent words. Welcome, Dr. Vinaya Srinivas.
Thank you, ma'am.
At last you could log in.
Yeah. Yes.
We
There were
started
lots of-
the program. Very nice, very nice. Anyhow, once again, I'll welcome you. I think it's a time to introduce our guest speaker, Dr. Aftab Ahmad Maldar. Dr. Aftab Ahmad Maldar is a well-known psychiatrist specialized in mental health, and is also especially interested in addiction treatment and school academic enhancement. He earned his MBBS from Karnataka Medical College and Research Institute in Hubli 2011 and his MD in psychiatry from Father Muller Medical College, Mangaluru in 2015. His career includes 3 years of Manasa nursing home, followed by 3.5 years with the Saudi military, enhancing his skills in diverse settings. Returning to India, he became head of de-addiction in the department at Manasa and now serves at Max Super Specialty Hospital, delivering high quality care for the past 1 year. With a focus in preventing addiction, especially among school students at first time users, Dr. Maldar collaborates with school children to boost academic performances and well being. He shares free memory enhancement videos in YouTube and runs tailored attention programs also. So, committed to the community outreach, he conducts drug awareness sessions and mentoring workshops, school visits, and also gram sabhas for alcohol education and radio talks. Also, very nice to hear this. As an author, he has written a book by name The Secret to Killing Tobacco Addiction is available on Amazon and Flipkart also. I think it's a time that we have to look into that. He also maintains a YouTube channel for mental health insights and participates in the philanthropic group donating a school's infrastructure monthly. Through his expertise, public education, and service, Dr. Maldar empowers individuals and builds healthier communities. It's really nice to hear such a expertise you have got in the subject. And I'm really thankful to Dr. Vinaya Srinivas for suggesting his name for this program, especially for the medical students. And so once again, a hearty welcome to you, Dr. Aftab Ahmad Maldar.
Thank you, ma'am.
It's floor is yours and over to you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Before I start sharing the screen, and I'd first like to thank IMA MSN for having invited me for this talk, and especially President Sir, Secretary Ma'am, and all of the participants for today's talk. The reason I chose this topic is primarily because of the kind of sad news that we are hearing in our community. There's a doctor community regarding especially the kind of self-harm incidents that are occurring and all. And we all become quite alarmed when we look at the way, if some doctor were to say commit suicide. But we should also be on the lookout for those doctors who are probably prone to commit suicide, and among them fall those doctors who have become dependent to substances. And although it's not that all doctors take substances because of stress, many of them have started these things quite prior to joining medical college. But I feel that today's talk, we can just probably focus on how stress and easy access to medications or alcohol leads to doctors using it as a self-medication or more or so, and what can be done actually about this. So I would like to just start sharing the screen. Just okay, is it visible? Shall I start?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just one second so that I get. So doctors basically, they always prioritize the patient's well-being over their own, and this takes a significant toll on their personal and professional life. We know that there are some at-risk branches in which divorce rates are high, suicidality is high. All of this is because we have made it, we have glorified overwork. We think that the doctor who does not have time for his family is actually successful. And being busy is glorified in our community. Even our students, they look up to us if we are quite busy, and even they aspire to become like us. So this is leading to a system in which it has become a status symbol to be busy. Saying you're busy, it means that your time is in demand. And also, once we realize that 100 years ago, probably this was not the case. Now we are all slowly transforming into capitalist societies, productivity-driven societies, in which if you are constantly producing some product or giving some service, then you are seen as valuable by the society. And this brings a reciprocal emotion of fearing stillness, that if you're not doing anything, even if you take 1 or 2 days off, you feel as if you're unproductive. So that's why even though doctors take leave, they rarely switch off their phones. They are always constantly in touch with their patients. And also there is a social comparison factor. That is, when everyone else is appearing to be in a hurry and busy, then any doctor who is relaxing is seen to be as lazy. So what happens is that there is one societal pressure, financial pressure, and also ambition. Doctors who set out of medical college have the ambition or dream of becoming like their professors who are quite busy. And so they think that they are under this false understanding that being busy means they are successful and this will lead to happiness. But what happens is instead that they become busy and then they don't have any time for themselves or for their family. And this leads to burnout. And once they have started onto this and they are having busy practice, they just can't stop. So even though they are in the middle of burnout, they are unwilling to cut down on their patients and take time out for themselves. So Henry David Thoreau had said that it is not enough to be busy, so are the ants. The question is, what are we busy about? So for example, an ant is also busy throughout its life, and human beings also want to be busy. Ant has got a lifespan of barely few months to 3 years. Human beings have 70 to 75 years, and yet they live as if they have got barely 3 years to live. So we need to understand that instead of glorifying being busy and being stressed, we need to start glorifying being free and having time to ourselves, especially in the evening time or some time every week. Now, when we come to understanding stress among doctors, stress is the body's non-specific response to any demand, whether pleasant or unpleasant. And in the doctor's case, it is exacerbated by long hours of work. They have to take high stakes decisions, and also there is an emotional demand. So the patient family members have got this urgency. They also want answers. Even you have got multiple cases lined up. So the prevalence varies by study, but 2015 national survey said that 40% of the doctors are experiencing moderate to severe stress. Now I'm talking only about the stress among doctors. And in 2021, one cross-national study of North India said that there is 52% prevalence of stress in doctors and nurses. And in Kerala, they found that 80% of the physicians were suffering from moderate to severe emotional exhaustion. And there were about 40% among this study who said that they would not choose medicine if they were given another option. And the key risk factors in one study by Chatterjee et al. Said that being a younger age, female gender doctor who is working on weekends and lacking workplace support was at high risk for developing stress. Now, where does substance abuse come into the picture? So it's not that all doctors who are into substance abuse are doing it for stress, but we find that substance use has become one of like a coping mechanism. And in a 2024 meta-analysis, Indian medical students, they studied and they showed that although tobacco was 21%, alcohol was 27%, cannabis was still there at 8%. And among practicing physicians, in 2015, we found that prescription drugs were also used as primary substance, such as opioids. And the onset of substance use was, however, later among the doctors by about 26 years. And later we had got dependence. The most important factor was that there is a usual delay by about 10 years by the time a doctor becomes dependent and goes to a psychiatrist or some another physician and seeks help. There's a delay of 10 years. So now, in case a doctor develops stress and has got started using substances, and the doctor realizes that, okay, now I've become addicted to this. So what to do? How do we get out of this? One of the major problems that we face is that if you were to today decide that, okay, I'm feeling stressed and I need some therapy session, a psychotherapist is not as easily accessible as, say, going to a pharmacy and taking some benzodiazepine, or going to a beer shop or a bar shop and taking alcohol. So first and foremost, the barrier to access to good psychotherapy, good counseling itself leads to doctors choosing the pharmacy or the nearest bar for getting alcohol or some other substance to calm them down. So since apart from alcohol and tobacco, it is also quite possible for doctors to get prescription drugs. This is very easy because, first of all, they have the professional environment and also the knowledge as to what medication is to be taken. Secondly, they have prescribing privileges. They can prescribe. They are close to pharmacies, and their habit of self-medication. Anytime we get infections or something, we never ask any other physician. We self-medicate. So naturally, when a person gets, say, insomnia due to continuous work, or anxiety, or some other issues, or some professional or familiar problems leading to depression, doctors tend to self-medicate even in those circumstances. Now, among the doctors who abuse substances, there is a good article from NIMHANS in which they have mentioned that the doctors who abuse substances other than alcohol or tobacco, among them, it was found that they had low cannabis use but higher benzodiazepine and opioid use, and average 10-year gap to seek treatment. So now we know that, okay, doctors are having so much of stress and say they are having access to medications or alcohol or any other thing. We know the problem, but rather than just sitting and discussing as to how malaria is caused by the mosquito, it's better that we also discuss about the ways to solve it. So I would like to suggest some practical solutions to using which probably we doctors can make things easier for our colleagues, maybe at our hospitals or at our medical colleges or through IMA, so that we can ensure that at least we can help our colleagues have stress-free lives so that it reduces their dependence on substances. So first and foremost, we have to normalize seeking help. Now, what happens is that the ones who are specialized in de-addiction are the psychiatrists. And our society, the stigma attached to psychiatry is so high that even doctors are not willing to go and meet their own colleagues and discuss their problems. And we are naturally a low trust society in that even if some doctor were to trust, say, his colleague and go and vent out his feelings, and if someone else would even see that the so-and-so doctor is meeting psychiatrist, then this becomes an issue of gossip. And it is spread everywhere that so-and-so doctor is on medications, probably is having some other problem. Maybe he must have just gone to discuss stress issues or something. They start saying that our psychiatry issue is there. So this sort of labeling leads to so much trouble that doctors find it easier to go and take some medication from the pharmacy or take some alcohol and try to subdue the anxiety or depression rather than go to psychiatrist. So we have to normalize seeking help, and probably one of the ways in which we can do is that we have to increase more and more the discussions around these topics, and have more kind of awareness programs so that it becomes quite common to discuss this. The second is I came across this very nice initiative which has started just barely 3-4 days ago. It is called as Federation of Indian Medical Association Mental Health Redressal Helpline. It has come in the news also. About 50 psychiatrists have joined together, and they have got these time slots. So 20 hours a day throughout the week, their mobile numbers are available for confidential support only for doctors, residents, and medical students. So this helpline can be made use of. And apart from this, not just for doctors, for the general helpline, we have got the NIMHANS helpline or the Arogya Vani. Now, this is the Times of India article, which shows that FIMA launched this helpline for doctors' mental health. So it's a good initiative that is only for doctors. I'm sorry if I'm not aware of any such prior initiative by IMA. If it's there, please, I would be happy to be enlightened about this. But this is what I found. Other suggestions that we can do is implement mandatory audits of prescription practices to limit self-medication. See, when I was practicing in Saudi, I was with the military setup. So there it was they had a very nice system in which all these benzodiazepines and all had to be given in triple prescription. And even if a lorazepam injection would be given, then the next day the empty vial, broken glass would be brought in a pouch, and they would show it to me and take my signature to verify that this vial has been completely used. So if we start having mandatory audits of prescription practices, like how much of benzodiazepines are going, where they are going, and also opioids, so this will lead to cut down in the self-medication. Also, we have to start integrating stress management training into the medical curriculum. We cannot expect that if we don't train our medical students in stress management or in meditation techniques in the 5.5 years of studies along with internship, suddenly expecting them to become professionals and enter into the real world, and when they are faced with challenging situations, then we expect them to also know meditation or relaxation. It's better to make it part of our curriculum. And especially we have to target the high risk groups like interns, because interns tend to have a lot of workload and their duties are long. So it's better that we address this by teaching them at least stress management along with PG students, and establishing confidential helplines and counseling services. Now, this is a very tricky issue because just yesterday I was talking to some college students, and they said that their college has got a counselor, But if they were to just go to the counselor and vent out their feelings, they are sure that the next day their parents will be informed. So this prevents them from talking to the counselor. So this is more or less what happens even with us. If say as colleagues or as employees of any institution, we know that there is a center and we actually needed help, we will be wary because the moment we go and speak that maybe they will leak this to the authorities or the management, and this may lead to problems with my job. So establishing confidentiality becomes a major tricky issue. Now with the use of AI chatbots, maybe this can be looked into. Use of AI chatbots is good because people can chat with the AI chatbot under false names, and they can express their feelings, and even the chatbot will do some counseling. But the moment the chatbot is able to detect that there are some issues or some problems, then the chatbot will immediately flag this chat and encourage the user to either call a counselor or connect directly to a human counselor. So this is some facility maybe about which we have to think seriously, because it has been found that the moment you start using AI chatbot, then more percentage of people start sharing or revealing their sadness or anxiety and other issues. Other suggestions are enforcing limits on working hours. We know very well that doctors, although they have got so-called fixed hours, they tend to cross that. And this leads to burnout, and burnout leads to stress. And then when they go back home, if they don't get sleep, then that benzodiazepine tablet seems quite the easy option. So also we should provide social buffers against isolation-driven abuse. If we find that some of our colleagues or classmates are nowadays keeping to themselves, staying alone in their hostel rooms or in their apartments, not coming out, not mingling much, then we need to meet them and ask them to come out, share their problems. So we should all be on the lookout. And it's always better to have this kind of a open coffee area or space where people, or in every hostel, in every doctor's quarters, wherein compulsorily doctors come together and meet. And we have to make it a routine that we have to do this voluntary mental health screenings so that we can identify the early substance use. And usually the substance use is associated with depression. Like my professor used to say that it is very rare for someone after the age of 25 to start alcohol or any substance for the first time. Usually after age of 25, someone starts it, it's because of some comorbid depression. So if that is the case, even if the beginning, when they are just using something for the first time, they have crossed the age of 25, then we should probably have this a chat with them and develop friendly relationship with them to see that if we can help them if they're having any depression. And we need to increase our access to non-pharmacological therapies. The moment people think of depression and medication, they think of antidepressants. We need to make, although we all say that you should have mindfulness or CBT techniques and other things, I think the doctors in this chat will also struggle to name some really good therapists who know all the mindfulness techniques or CBT techniques, apart from major cities like say Bangalore or other places. So we need to, because doctors are spread each and everywhere in every taluka, every village, we need to also make, just like medications are available everywhere, we also need to ensure that mindfulness and CBT techniques are available everywhere. And we need to develop strict drug-free workplace policies. This is more like bit enforcing, but what can be done is random testing for substances in the blood can be also used, or in the urine can also be used, provided that we ensure that it is supportive rather than punitive. So no punishment is done. So this is a bit something which can be discussed, not just like a suggestion, because for some students or maybe some doctors, there could also be a deterrent to not use substances as regular as they use. Okay, so this is just, I put up a spa, the photo of a spa. Just imagine if every medical college or every big corporate hospital were to compulsorily have something like this, in which any doctor who is stressed out from the entire week can just walk in, pay some amount and get a nice massage and relax and therapy. So we need to normalize this. We need to make it easily accessible. Just like we have got a pharmacy at every corner, maybe we can start having this for doctors so that they have this feeling of relaxation and they can vent out. Other suggestions could be that train the supervisors and colleagues to recognize warning signs like increase in the absenteeism or performance dip. Some doctor is coming not coming irregularly to work, or the performance is falling, then suspect that maybe substance use is the cause. And monitor vulnerable subgroups like the younger doctors or the fresh doctors who have joined recently. These especially have got higher stress levels. And we need to build comprehensive wellness programs. We can't just have, say, one talk in 3 months, or just get some doctors together and advise them that this is the yoga that you should do, or you should not do like this and all. Rather than that, we should make it a part of our culture, of our nature of the entire institute, that mental health issues are openly discussed, they are not punished, and we have got alternative things to medications so that people can just relax. And if a doctor or someone is looking forward to taking leaves, or they are telling that my timings are a bit harsh, or in the sense that his body is not able to cope up, maybe he can be given a week or so off so that the doctor feels recharged and comes back. So we need to look out for our colleagues, we need to look out for each other so that we don't have more stress related issues with doctors, not just substance use, but stress has got so much of other ramifications also for the society. So with that, I would just like to end my brief talk. I'm willing to answer any questions if anyone has got any doubts. I hope this has been helpful.
Prasanna,
Yes, ma'am.
just look for any question in the inbox.
Sorry, ma'am. As of now, no questions, ma'am.
Very good talk,
Very,
Dr. Altab
Thank you, sir.
Ahmad Maldar, sir. I have one question.
Yes,
Is
sir.
there any link between exercise and cope up with exercise will help to overcome the depression?
So personally, when the depression or anxiety is mild, then counseling techniques, exercise, dietary changes, good sleep, all of this will help. But once the person crosses into moderate depression, then the person requires medication along with the counseling. So this is what I have found, and I strictly believe that if we get any person, we have got criteria to assess the severity of depression. We do like that. And if someone is having crying spells, suicidal ideas and all, then just advising them to treat all of this using just exercise and all doesn't actually help them. We may be actually delaying the treatment, so that we could lead to further worsening of depression because of lack of treatment.
Thank you, Dr. Maldar. Very nice presentation. Actually, what you've just told is very practical also. Very insightful, very excellent talk.
Thank you.
Sir,
Madam, I have a question.
yeah, please, Dr. Vinya, go ahead.
Dr. Aftab,
Yes, ma'am.
can you give some tips, because you told about for the stress management and how to avoid drug abuse, especially how to avoid, how to manage stress for the doctors. Here there are
Yes,
many
ma'am.
students who have logged in. So how can you give any tips like how they get into that network? Some clues like how for them to keep themselves away from that network. How exactly, what are the sensitive things that they ought to know during their
Ma'am,
studentship?
regarding
Can you
substance
explain
use or
that?
stress? Regarding what do you want me to talk?
Substance use.
Substance use. Acha.
That is also a part of it, no? That is why.
Yeah, I started with stress because most of the practicing consultants are under heavy stress, so that leads to this. Now, when it comes to students, what we have to understand is that the company matters a lot. So what the students, especially the medical students, they forget that they work really hard and they have sacrificed many friendships to enter into medical college. And once they've entered into medical college, probably they think that, okay, chalo, now we can relax a little bit. And this is when they become easy prey to people who wish to trap them. What starts as just out of curiosity, as one-time experimental behavior, the studies, functional MRIs of the brain show that what happens in addiction is that your brain changes. Initially, it is just uh, experimental usage, but then the neurons migrate from anterior to posteriorly, and then it becomes compulsive behavior. The person has to use it, and this is same. The pattern of addiction, it is same whether you apply it to gambling drugs, mobile phones, anything that you take. If you're addicted to it, it follows a complete the same pattern. And so today, say suppose a medical student were to join in Japan, India, and South Africa, and all of them were to start substances, then more or less all the three would have the same pattern of going in deeper and deeper into the substance use. So my advice to them would be very careful of the company. And even if no one joins medical college thinking that I'm going to become a drug addict. So what happens is that once you have entered into the college, many things are going to be new, and you're going to find some subjects to be tough, and you will have to study hard for that. And this is when your so-called well-wishers and good friends or your good seniors are going to approach you with one or the other tablet or something to smoke that is going to make you feel a little bit relaxed. They're not actually your well-wishers. What happens is that it is unlike shown in the movies in which the people who sell drugs or other things, they don't come wearing a torn t-shirt and having a kerchief around their necks or like that. It will be usually your classmate or your senior who is already using it and probably needs that extra money to buy his dose. And because he doesn't have money, he will try to get in new customers. And on this, I have done quite many talks. I go to colleges, engineering colleges and all, and I tell them the 14 or 15 different psychological tricks that are used by these middlemen, the drug sellers, in order to trap. One of the most commonest trick that they use is the trick that is used on us by these sweet shop owners. The moment you walk into any sweet shop, they will offer you a small sample as just a small piece of sample or one whole laddu as a sample. And the immediate reaction response that we have is that Enta Olle Mansha, he gave me one laddu. So what we do is at least we buy kal kg of some sweet and we walk out. So it's a very nice thing. So what happens with the drugs is the same thing, that the students are offered first or 1, 2, 3 times they're offered free. And the junior feels that, oh, the senior is so nice. I was so stressed and I could not express this anxiety to my family member. He gave me something which made me feel relaxed. So the next time he wants it, he will pay money. And before he knows it, he is hooked onto it. So these are all the tricks that are used because it's a business, and any business gives profit only when there are more and more users. So it's just that. But unfortunately, it has got a heavy toll. These are the very students who have sacrificed so much to get into medical college, and still they don't probably realize that how much more is to get sacrificed until they become successful consultants. So along the way, a chance encounter with the wrong person, a wrong friend, is enough to destroy them. So I would advise the medical students that be very careful of the company that you keep, and don't think. See, I came across this very nice sentence yesterday. It is in the nature of betrayal that it's never expected. So because you don't expect your friends to do this way, that is why it is called as betrayal. So if you are so intelligent as to know which person is how and all, then you would be none of the medical students or anyone for that matter would have fallen prey to this. But what happens is that you are stressed at that time. You are for the first time probably outside your home. You have got some autonomy. You have got some money in your pockets. So you become easy prey to this whole system. So my advice to you would be that please understand that your friendship is only with yourself. You need to filter your classmates and see who has got the same kind of aims as you have. See, you have to have a friend circle which matches your background and your aim. So when there's a mismatch, then that will lead to a lot of issues. So if you get friends who are more or less from your kind of a background and who have got same kind of aim, and they want to also study and you also want to study, it's very good. You can form friendship networks with them. And trust me, there is nothing more probably, how can I say it? Venting out your feelings, like you went to a test, or maybe you got scolded by your professor today or some issue. Your professors don't scold you because they want to insult you or anything. They scold you because they don't want you to commit that mistake once you have become practicing consultants. So maybe your professor scolded you or something has happened. You're feeling sad. Come, meet your close friends, sit with them, vent out, go outside, have tea, sandwiches or something, enjoy, go watch movies, listen to music or whatever that makes you happy. Have this circle around you, but ensure that the stress is finished off on that very day. Please don't allow it to pile up, and then that leads you to become more isolated from your friends. Once you're alone, you're very easy prey to people who want to sell drugs to you. So don't be alone, have good friends. I think there was some message that popped up in between.
So, Dr. Altaf,
Yes, sir.
so apart from this medical college students,
Yes, sir.
nowadays, even in other colleges and also high schools,
Yes, sir.
so many students are getting addicted to this drug substance. For
Yes, sir.
such, actually, from the psychiatric department or psychiatric, this totally, can we have some programs, educative programs at the high school level as well as at the college level? So before entering to at least medical college, they should know what is the effects of these drugs and other things. Is
So,
it?
so this is, I would like to say that this is just the first step.
Mm.
And many psychiatrists do this.
Mm.
Even I have done this. And you go to some college or some school,
Yeah.
especially the high school, and then you talk to the students and you tell them that you do awareness campaigns. Now, what happens is that if you were a student of high school, and say some stranger psychiatrist walks into your school and gives a talk on the harms of some drugs, which you have not even known. It's not like the high school students who abuse drugs. They know what is LSD. They know what is methylphenidate. They don't know the names. So there's no point in telling them that, see, LSD causes this or that. Awareness from a stranger is not something which the students probably will connect. What I have found is, especially what I have now shifted now in the first year of after joining, Subha Medical College, what I did is I used to go to many schools and colleges and do many awareness programs. And then what I started realizing is that I need to probably focus the low income group areas, go to the private schools and the government schools in those areas and see what is the problem. And what I've realized is that, sir, there is an issue of identity. Now, identity is a very important thing in adolescence. uh, these adolescent teenagers, they start asking this question, who am I? Who do I belong to? And when they don't find an adequate answer, because they are not they are finding a lot of difficulty finding the answer to this question at their homes, in their schools. They are not happy with their education, and more or less, I'll tell you, sir, these schools, even those who pass out of SSLC, they are not in a position to afford college education. So they know that even if they were to get the best marks in SSLC, they are going to go and work either as for some minor labor, some other unskilled or semi-skilled system. So what happens is that these people will now start thinking, they start taking education or the meaning of their life quite lightly. And then in the search for their identity, the local gang of boys who are there outside on the street, they appear quite macho. They look nice. They feel like, okay, if I'm part of that group, I will have some identity. Now, this is something which needs to be replaced. Now, any thought process can only be replaced by an alternative thought process. And that is why when I go to schools, what I have started is I go to them and I start offering them alternatives like introducing indoor games and or introducing spoken English courses so that they start getting some self-esteem. They start representing their school in small competitions, and suddenly they start feeling that, okay, I am better than those neighbors of mine or those boys who are outside on the street. So you just need to instill that. So once you give them that I am better, then they will start seeking more. So this is the reason why I'm attached to the schools and we do all of these programs. My request is to any psychiatrist who's doing work in the field of addiction is that don't think that just by going to some school someday and giving 1 hour lecture is going to change their lives. It's not going to change their life. You have to stick to that school. You have to discuss with the management, with the teachers, and develop comprehensive plans. Help those students who are lagging behind in studies. Maybe their math teachers are not so good. Maybe you can sit down with them and discuss new techniques. Like in one of the schools now, currently, I am working on how to incorporate games with mathematics. So we have got games on fractions, on division, on multiplication, so that these students feel every day the students should feel happy to come to school. Otherwise, school will appear boring and then drop out and then drop out. Then after 1 or 2 months of being drop out, then they join some gang and then they are into substance use. So this cycle needs to break.
Thank you, Doctor.
I think there is a question from Srinidhi. Prasanna, are you around?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, please read out. Many medical students.
Many medical students face peer pressure, which sometimes pushes them towards unhealthy habits and even substance abuse. So, how can one handle such peer pressure effectively?
Handling peer pressure requires them to practice saying no. That's why I was telling that you have to preferably keep friends who match your backgrounds and also your aspirations. If you're having at least one or two friends whose aspirations are quite different and they don't bother, they've just come to medical college and they're not interested in acquiring knowledge, then this can rub off on you also. So then when they want to party and you got some internal exam coming and they want to party, then they will force you to also party along with them, leading to even your marks being affected. So the simplest thing that they can learn to say is just to say no, and not to be at all bothered or affected about what others think about them. Now, I know that freshly into medical college, they are young and it is their age to get easily affected by what others think about them. But I think that if we have this sessions in which what we do is we make a couple of persons stand up and one acts as a friend who offers some substance or offers alcohol or something, and the other is forced to say, try practice saying no. So this we do on stage so that the other students can also say this. So these sessions, if we do, they can be helpful.
Question from Snehal. What habits should medical students start cultivating early and to protect our mental health long term? What habits they should cultivate, the
Sleep.
medical students?
Sleep is the main important thing. At least 6 to 7 hours of good sleep, going to bed early, and going for those walks, having a group of friends who really understand and trust me, you will have friends. Friends are those with whom you will have fights, and then you'll say sorry to each other and get back together. They are the friends. So if you have fights with your friends, don't think that khalas, everything is finished, they are no longer my friends. It doesn't happen like that. True friendship goes through a lot of things. So have that kind of set of friends and eat together. So because this improves bonding. So once you have got friends with whom you sit down and eat something, naturally you get that connection. And once you have this strong social support, then you can face any problem. So my good sleep, walks, taking food on time, and having a good social network. I think that is what. By social network, I don't mean that you should, I know that senior or I'm the so and so. It's not that. It's those that 2 o'clock, 2 a.m. friends at night, midnight. If you were to have any problems, how many friends do you have whom you can just call and ask for help? So that kind of a network you need to develop.
How can medical students tackle stress that comes from the fear of falling behind in a toxic, competitive peer environment?
So that is what you have to understand, that even if you were to come first in this toxic environment, there is no guarantee of success. So your definition of success is what drives you. So what happens is that doctors think that having a busy OPD or earning a lot of money leads to success. And especially this is what rubs off onto the students as well. But this is not the case. It is good to have good practice. You have studied so that you can serve humanity, and it is good to money is necessary. Money gives you a lot of freedom, but when you make just these two things the sole purpose of your life, then you will find that there will always be someone who is having more patience than you, earning more than you. So when you know that the competition is toxic, then there's no point in jumping into it and then complaining that it's burning you. So make it a point to understand that you may be, see, even if you're thirsty and you're at the beach, no matter how much seawater, you're not going to drink it. So similarly, you may have that urge that I should also have X number of patients or so much income and all of that. Yet you should understand that if you were to enter into that race, it is salt water. It is toxic. So make it a point to remember the basic tenet of medical sector is service to others. So incorporate this factor in your life, that you help or serve some poor patients, and some X percentage of your patients every month should be for free. You ought to go out and offer service to people without having any expectation of them paying you. Maybe you can do pro bono work, do free work, charity work, and all of that. This will give you peace. So because trust me, there is not much competition when it comes to charity, especially charitable service. There are many people who still spend money, but people don't give their time. So if you were to be among those who you can also have this competition of offering service to the poor, and then we'll see you'll have much more peace and happiness in your life.
Any other questions, Dr. Anuradha ma'am? Inputs from your side? Dr. Anuradha? Very elaborative, very excellent interactions we had. Ma'am,
Yeah,
Idina?
yeah. Padma, good evening once again. It was a excellent presentation. There are
Thank
so
you, ma'am.
many aspects we need to look into. Definitely, Dr. Ahmad, you're able to let us know what other aspects we need to look into so that we don't lose out on our friends and our students. Thank you for that. And one message I would like to give is, yes, we need to utilize the services of our psychiatrist colleagues in a still very bigger way. That is my message. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Dr. Vinaya Srinivas?
I have expressed my views, madam. I wanted him to give some tips to students. He has done it wonderfully. He has done it excellently.
Thank you, ma'am.
I hope all the students got it and they'll just stick on to the things he has narrated in his talk. We have
I think
adopted a school, madam, from IMA Shumoga and Subha Institute of Medical Sciences. We have adopted a school, Manasa Vidyalaya. It's an aided school. We have adopted means every month, Dr. Aftab, he goes to the school, he gives a presentation on different topics like how to improve the learning methodology, how to improve the memory. So every month, last week of every month, we do go, he gives a talk to the same set of students so that they become tuned up and they get into the good stream. So that is what we are doing from IMA as well as Subha Institute of Medical Sciences, ma'am.
Very nice. Congratulations
And
for
please
such a
guidance.
wonderful work.
Thank
So
Padma?
I think we need to have a lot of habits, I think, hobbies kind, listening to music, art painting, drawing, going out with the friends, as he said. So I think we were very lucky enough to have finished our MBBS courses long ago because of this, what globalization, urbanization, mobiles, internets, all this. It's a double-edged sword. So we can use it in both the ways, but I think now, like a post-COVID though, starting from the schools, lot of addiction to the mobiles. So in that way, we were lucky enough that we had lot of friends and lot of hobbies and habits to be and it was really stress-free during our college days. So in that way, we are very lucky. Ma'am, Dr. Anuradha, ma'am, heli.
Yeah. I request Dr. Haftab to throw adequate light on this important question that both Dr. Srinidhi as well as Sneha have asked. What about the peer pressure? I think what question I would like to ask is, not all of us as medical students can excel. Some of us, they're very good, Viva, they do very well. So they're in particular, they're asking about the peer pressure. So let's suppose I'm not doing that well in the sense that I'm not able to do as well as my other co-student. Kindly let our students know and let us also know as to what suggestions you would give.
Ma'am, I was invited as a chief guest to one of the schools of a low-income area in which they were honoring the top 5 students, I think. And I could see that with the chief guest honoring the top 5 students and the parents also seated there were the other students from the same batch who had not performed so well. And what happened is that that year that school had 100% passing result. And so they asked who was the one who got the least marks. So they made that student stand up and all of them clapped and said that, see, he is the one who passed. If he would not have passed, then today your batch would not have cleared 100%. So it was nice. People smiled, laughed, and clapped and everything. But I know what that boy must have undergone in front of everyone to be made to stand up and say that he got the less marks. So I remembered one very nice analogy, and I told this to the students, and I would like to say the same thing to the medical students. Whenever there is a season of some fruit, for example, mango, is it that the best fruit of that tree or the best fruit of the season is the first one to arrive in the market? No. If there is a tree and it has got, say, 150 fruits, is it that the tastiest and the sweetest fruit ripens the first? No. Every fruit will ripen and sweeten at the time when nature has decided for it. So all of us, the entire batch of medical students, we are like fruits. We will ripen. We are put in this role by God for a purpose of serving the poor and the needy, the ones in pain. So we will wait throughout our life in the OPD, waiting for that one person who needs us the most to walk in and ask for our help. And that is success. Success is not marks in Viva or theory or anything. You may not get the best marks in MBBS. You may not get the best marks in MD. You may not get the best salary. But what may happen is that for some one patient, maybe someone from a village or someone from some uh, poor section of the society, you may that day think that chalo isko free mein kar dete hain," and you will help that person. And for that person, you are everything. For him, for that patient, you are the best human being. And so even these things don't happen by you planning. It's not like you plan. All of this happens because God sends that patient to you at that time in that place and you help. So the moment you have taken this noble profession, please don't reduce it into competition. If you try to reduce a noble profession into competition, you are going to have this trouble. It is not a race. It is not a race. I was reading yesterday. I was seeing this documentary on turtles, sea turtles. They were telling that sea turtles never race. In the water, they have got this long journey. So even if other turtles were to go ahead, they just keep flapping, no matter what is the direction of the current, the temperature of the water, no matter what predators come around. They have learned only one thing, that they should just keep flapping. They keep flapping their flippers and they keep going ahead because they know that they are in this process, this journey. All the doctors are out in the sea with their own little boats trying to catch fish. Just because some doctor got a lot of fish as soon as you set out from the beach doesn't mean that you will not get your fish. You will get your fish. It will come on its own time. And you know what? Maybe by the time you reach and get the fish, you'll realize that the actual beauty of this was in the journey in the sea and not in catching the fish. So enjoy your time with your friends. I still miss my MBBS friends, my MD friends. So
Yes.
those are all beautiful times. Spend those moments carefully. Think of every day in medical college like a book whose page you turn and you will never get to read that page once again. So be connected with your friends. Enjoy. The best thing that you can gather or earn in your medical life is true friends whom you will call. Remember, you will call the next day, next time when you're a consultant and you face some problem, you are going to call your friends. None of your relatives or anyone is going to help you. So you will have these friends whom you will call. So form good connections, and this is your success.
Very nice words, excellent words. Prasanna, any more questions in the IB?
No questions, ma'am.
Very well said, Dr.
Thank you, sir.
Aftab. Actually, what I give on, I want to add on message to the students. My observation during MBBS, MS, MCH, etc. People who are average in studies but excel in social interactions are highly successful in their career.
Yes.
This is my observation, sir. I'm saying,
Yes,
friend.
sir.
The key is to move forward at your own pace.
Yes.
Without comparing yourself to others. And your time will come up. So there is a very famous song is there, Apna time aayega.
Yes, sir.
So that should be our attitude. Then what happens? Lot of pressure will come down on us.
Yes, sir.
So this is the message what you gave, Doctor. Very nicely spoken and very good message from you. Thank
Thank you,
you.
sir. Thank you, sir.
President, sir?
Yeah, what the observation of Dr. Suraj, what he told, it is 100% because we have also seen during our medical career, most of the, especially very good students and intellect students, sometimes ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ಅವರು ಒಂದು ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ಇದಾದಾಗ, ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಓನ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್, he became addict to this one alcohol, and totally his total life became swun. ಸೊ ಕೆಲವು ಸಲ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಹುಡುಗರು, ಇಂಟೆಲಿಜೆಂಟ್ ಹುಡುಗರು ತಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನವನ್ನು ಏನಂತೆಲ್ಲ ಹಾಳು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದೇ ಎವರಿ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಕಮ್ ಅಪ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಸ್ವನ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಇನ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅದರ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ಬಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಇದೆಲ್ಲವೂ ನೋಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ನಮಗೇನಂದ್ರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಒಂದು ಪರಿಸರ, ಅಂದರೆ ಗೆಳೆಯರ ಒಂದು ಸಂಘ ನಾವು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆದಾಗಲಿದ್ದ ಹಿಡಿದು ಫೈನಲ್ ಇಯರ್ ಮುಗಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರೋದ್ರೊಳಗೂ ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಗೆಳೆಯರ ಒಂದು ಸಂಘ ನಮಗೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಸಿಕ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ಅವರ್ ಲೈಫ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್. ಅದೇ ಒಂದು ಅಡ್ಡದಾರಿಯಾಗೆ ನಾವು ಮೇನ್ ರೋಡ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದ್ನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಊರು ಮುಟ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದೇ ಅಡ್ಡದಾರಿಗೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಹೋದಿವಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನವೇ ಬರ್ಬಾದಾಗತ್ತಲ್ಲ. ಆ ರೀತಿ ಇದು ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಲೈಫು ಅದೇ ರೀತಿಯೇ ಆಗೋದು. ಸೊ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಒಂದು ಪರಿಸರ ಮತ್ತು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಗೆಳೆಯರ ಒಂದು ಸಂಘ ಇತ್ತಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ಇದಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಬಿ ವೆರಿ ಕೇರ್ಫುಲ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ದಿ ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ನಾವು ಇವನ್ ದೇ ಶುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎ ಗುಡ್ friendship and good circle regarding their education and everything. Apart from these all habits, they should be totally away from these habits. Then definitely they will come up in their life. So for all the students, so just whatever Dr. Altaf has told, just follow it in your life, routine life, and have a good future in our this one. So wishing them all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful and excellent words. I think we are coming to the end of the session. Dr. Vinya Srinivas, please do vote of thanks, ma'am.
We have come to the end of this Zoom webinar. I would like to thank IMA KSB President Dr. V.V. Chinivalar sir for his presence throughout the session and for giving all the inputs. I extend my thanks to Dr. Suriraju V. sir, Secretary IMA KSB, for being with us throughout the seminar and for giving his inputs. I thank Dr. Padma Prakash ma'am for taking this initiative. That was her concept of having this topic for the students. That was very nice. Thank you, ma'am. I thank Dr. Anuradha Paramesh ma'am for being with us today and for giving her insights onto this particular topic. I thank the resource person, Dr. Aftab Ahmad, who is always for the students, who is always into these type of programs, always. I thank him for being with us and for giving a wonderful presentation. I thank all the students, Prasanna Kumar, Srinidhi, Aditi, everyone, Jaydev, everyone, for taking active participation in this program. I thank everyone. I think we can conclude the program.
Next month, with one more interesting topic, the Medical Student Network IMA KSB will be presenting to you. That is in the month of September. Thank you all. Good night.
Happy Gauri Ganesha festival.
Happy Gauri
Thank you,
Ganesha.
ma'am. Thank you.
Happy Gauri Ganesha.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಗೌರಿ ಗಣೇಶ ಹಬ್ಬದ ಶುಭಾಶಯಗಳು.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Belated happy birthday, sir. Chinivalar, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Namaste.
ನಿನ್ನೆ ವಿನಯ ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಕೇಕ್ ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ರಲ್ಲಿ.
ಬಳ್ಳಾರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ
ವೈದ್ಯ ಬರಹಗಾರರು
ನೀವು ಅನುರಾಧ ಇಬ್ರು ಬರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಬಳ್ಳಾರಿಗೆ.
ಬರಕ್ಕಾಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ.
ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನೈಸ್, ಬಹಳ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಅರೇಂಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ.
ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತು.
ವಾಟ್ಸ್ಆಪ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ತಿತ್ತು ಫೋಟೋಸ್, ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಶನ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತು ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ.